Hello all, gathered here for the soapbox of the Institute Students General Secretary. We have both our candidates here, Kushal Kumar Reddy DVSSS and Birendra Kumar. Will begin the soapbox now. To make the first presentation, I welcome Kushal Kumar Reddy. You have 8 minutes for presentation.
Hi. Hello everyone. I am Kushal, a third year undergraduate student in dual degree, and I am contesting for the post of Students General Secretary. First, I'd like to present you my vision. I want to foster a meaningful interaction among students, and my vision is to inspire and preserve a vibrant student community in a healthy campus. And to accomplish this, I have a threefold mission. First is to foster meaningful interactions among students. And second, initiate a democratic movement towards sustainability and safety in the campus. And third, to improve the approachability of institute structures through responsible student representation. Further, I've divided all my initiatives into 4 different categories. Namely wellness, insti spaces, approachable insti, and SGS initiatives. First, wellness. First step is to go forward. Just go forward. Forward. Yeah. Go back. Under wellness, I'd like to first begin with, we all have been, we all are as IITians, to foster innovation in technology. The first requirement, we have to be healthy human beings. In order to have a healthy campus with good health, that basically constitutes wellness. So first step is to assess how happy as human beings we are. And I'd like to begin with a happiness and wellness survey that will be constituted by professional experts and will be done immediately. And second, in the recent round, we have seen students getting anxious, and unfortunately there have been several incidents this recent times. So to address that, I'd like to start community happiness and relaxation sessions that will be held with assistance from the institute bodies. And in the long run, I'd like to start a proposal for Institute Wellness Center that will holistically look into the emotional, social, spiritual, and physical well-being of the campus residents. So if you see, I got inspired from the Harvard's well-being framework. Harvard University has a 8-fold wellness, well-being framework. So in the long run, I want to sit with professors, institute professors who are into this and try to establish something similar. If you see IIT Bombay has a dedicated center for student wellness called the Student Wellness Center. Further, to inculcate a culture of physical well-being, I want to set up open gyms in different locations in the institute. Next is insti spaces. All of us might have faced the difficulty when it comes to 24/7 co-working spaces. So first is to identify locations. One such location is the space beside CCD. I want to convert that into 2 rooms of 24/7 reading halls. And further would also be to convert library into a 24/7 reading hall in its basement. And next is mini recreational zones in the hostel area. We all might have faced the difficulty when it comes to sitting in the hostel area especially, We don't have proper benches apart from the bus stops or cafeterias or eateries. So to address that, I'd like to bring in dedicated benches. It will be a follow-up of previous manifesto's point of Sriram. And next is to push for a mini amphitheater at Himalaya Lawns. Himalaya Lawns are informally the cultural center of INSTI, but I'd like to further develop its infrastructure, something by landscaping the garden, landscaping the lawn, and also by setting up a small infrastructural arrangement which will help in showcasing different events, and it will assist in screenings and etc. Next is coming to approachable INSTI. First, CCASH. CCASH had its draft ad hoc. CCASH had its draft policy framed by the ad hoc committee in SLC. I'd like to push for the implementation of the same, and also to include one of the major points of it is to include student members who will be selected by the CCASH chairperson for the inclusion in the team, and they will basically assist in the publicity and increasing the reach of CCASH. Currently, in a sad state, many of us, freshers or second years especially, don't know the existence of CCASH, leave alone complaining. Further, inclusion of student members in vigilance teams. We all might have faced the wrath of vigilance. We have complaints. We have doubts on their transparency. So to reduce that, I'd like to push for inclusion of student members, whereas the vigilance team, whenever they come to the hostel, they will call up the student secretaries or the assistant warden, and they will accompany the vigilance team for their own raids. Next. Next is complaints with respect to the hospital. Everyone has their own complaints. To address the same, I'd like to launch an online complaint portal that will be taken up by the SGS committee. There'll be a student committee that will represent the complaints in a timely manner, and also a follow-up on the hospital's token system will be taken care. And further, finally, the revision of CCW rulebook and OHM manual. How many of us know that currently there exists a 11 p.m. curfew? There exists a 11 p.m. curfew according to the OHM rulebook. And also there exists a rule which says we can't use laptops for non-academic purposes. So to remove the rules, redundant rules like this, I'd like to push for an amendment in the rule book with help of CCW and Hostel Affairs Secretary. Final set of initiatives are the bodies which come under SGS and SGS initiatives. First is to, we all know the climate change is real and it's happening, and we being amidst the heart of Chennai in a lush green campus have to be the first initiators to take any steps towards sustainability, and unfortunately we don't have a student body working towards it. A few years ago there used to be a student body called SNET, Sustainability Network, under the SGS, so I'd like to revive it as Zero Carbon, a Carbon Zero Club, and have its own set of events and activities. Further, when it comes to disaster preparedness, we have a robust disaster management committee of students under the SGS, but there are seldom exists hostel evacuation plans or dedicated workshops for hostels. So I'd like to bring in National Disaster Rescue Force and bring in a collaboration to create and chart hostel evacuation plan. And finally, I'd like to start further continue and start in something called Institute Drives, whereas we'll have several things that are not really accessible to students in an accessible manner. For example, a book fair for science and engineering books, passport drive, PAN card drive, and vaccine drive.
1 more minute.
Just go back. And one of the final initiative is to check my accountability. I'd like to launch, I'd like to counter this in 2 points. One is hold bi-weekly Meet Your SGS sessions, which will be informal sessions in an informal venue where I'll send out a call and anyone who have a need or have a need to chat or have any suggestions can come up and talk. And finally, there'll be a Track Your SGS portal that is already set up. Forward.
Time is almost
So
over.
this
Please
is
wind up.
a Track Your SGS portal, live online portal that you can see already live, where you can just go to the website and check. Every point, every manifesto point will be tracked online lively. And if you have any doubt, you can just click there or contact me with respect to the progress of my work or initiatives. Any proposal will be lively tracked. And once again, I'm Kushal, standing for the post of SGS. Thank you.
Now we have the second candidate, Birendra Kumar, for his presentation.
Hello. Hello. So I am Virendra Kumar, contesting for Student General Secretary, and I am fourth year undergraduate student from Department of Biotech. So first I would like to Yeah, so today is 8 March. So first I like to everyone wish Happy Women's Day. And as our culture says, how we respect and how we worship the women's power is here. Ya Devi Sarvuteshu Shakti Rupen Sansita Namattasya 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 Namo Nama. Ya Devi Sarvuteshu Shanti Rupen Sansita Namattasya 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 Namo Nama. Ya Devi Sarvuteshu Shraddha Rupen Sansita Namattasya 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 Namo Nama. Ya Devi Sarvuteshu Mati Rupen Sansita Namattasya 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 Namo Nama. And after that I'm gonna move in my vision. My vision is emphasizing the issue of overall growth and development of student well-being for the manifestation of motivated student and our youthful mind, and our structure the effort towards nation building through character building. Yeah, one of the main issue our institute is facing is mental health. So what are the issues? What are the main stakeholders? First thing, lack of awareness. How can we create awareness? Suppose you are technical people, you want interest in technical. So do you go and see and attend some event that is organized by technical, like kind of Sati? No. You might be interested in someone that is technical and may also project the mental healthness. So that's why you want to collaboration with Shastra and Sarang, and it's already in 2018, IIT Bombay has done it, so we can also do it. Support. So there was a survey conducted 2017 by T5E. So three major reasons. The first major reason was academic pressure. The second was like professional career. So how can we tackle this? So regarding tackling the professional career, we have a lecture series and interaction session by alumni. So if you have, suppose, after just you come to IIT, what you want to know, how can you earn 1 crore rupees after 5 years, right? And just you know that there is no way, so what you're going to do, you got nervous. So we need to encourage alumni who have walked the path before us. More interaction. As Kushal also mentioned, there is less interaction. We are so involved in ourselves that we does not pay and care of our fellow mates, hostel mates and everything. So break this. So break this kind of, restriction. We're going to have introduced a wing buddy system where a wing buddy makes sure that the wing is interactive enough. Improving existing facility. After talking to many of people say that the counseling center and other things are not good. So what can we do? What can we do? We can improve the existing facility How can I improve? So first thing is improve to shift the existing counseling spot to the NSC. And the second is increasing the number of counselor. Sometimes people will say that they book appointment Friday and get on Monday. What is they supposed to do for 2 days? It's because there is less number of counselor. So we're going to increase the number of counselor. Sati, I'll tell you, I went to 5 hostel. I asked how many of know about barefoot council. People will like, what is barefoot counseling? So I was still shocked because Sati is trying everything possible to market itself. So it's mean there is a lack of awareness between the hosteler. So what we're going to do, what is a Sati? Suppose, what is a friend means? A friend is angry, so you don't go. Then he has to go to come to you and say hi to you. So what we will do, Sati will come to you and teach you how to take care of stress via barefoot counseling. Academics. The second point was the survey was the academics. Academics was the second reason for the stress. So how can we help? How can we help in the academics? Freshie life. So Dr. Srinivasan was a counselor when it happened, the survey was happened. Then his answer was, people find it difficult in adjusting here. Many of us live sheltered life there in our home state, and just coming to giving us such independent life, people are not able to adopt. And that is one of the main reasons. To make sure it doesn't happen and how to stop, we're gonna restructure the freshie orientation with different 5 modules for every 2 days. First, communication skill. So all of us know that all of us come from different cultural background, and it's always tough to understand what other person want to say. So I think it's one of the best things to have, how to communicate among ourselves. Social awareness. Most of us study for 2 years and does not know about society, and suddenly coming to here, we face so many issues. So make sure it doesn't happen. People need to make sure they are socially aware.
You have 2 more minutes.
Leadership skill. So go. Physical activity, very important. It's the only way to reduce the stress. Values in ethics, it's all already understandable. Supplementary examination, many of people, this is for freshies, many of freshies does not know what is the concept and does not have a support system when exam happen in the vacation and there is no friends. Who gonna support you? And also you have to cut your vacation days. To make sure it doesn't happen, we're gonna, for freshies, supplementary examination academic days. Scholarship notification, all of us know about HML, there are so many HML, so it's highly likely that we're going to miss the scholarship and this important kind of things. Make sure it doesn't happen. We want to have a scholarship in student app. General facility, go. Eliminating queue by introducing token system in the hospital. Medical health checkup camp in the hostel zone. We already have talked with 1 MG people and they agreed for coming here and door-to-door checkup for like 17 or 18 testers. New ambulance in the hostel zone, it's very near. Last year, someone died just because delay in the responses. Introduction of frequent buses. We already have 2 reserve buses. What we need to do, make sure it comes on the time. Common platform, as Kushal said, there is a problem with the rules and regulation. We need to make sure the rules and regulations in the same platform so it is easily accessible. Creating social impact. Same point. Like I will. So already we are doing so many things regarding I will, but what we need to do is promote entrepreneurship because now these are very important for people and their livelihood. Indic Club. So mission is to bring awareness among students about Indian heritage from past. I'm not reading that fast.
Please wind up.
Indic Club is to bring awareness among students about Indians and Indian heritage. Vision is to strengthen the Indian democracy through student participation in different fields of study regarding Indian society. Tentative events is trip nearby the events. Chennai, there are so many historical moments to encourage the people. Credentials are here. Thanks a lot. Once again, I am Virendra Kumar. Please vote for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we shall have cross questioning between our two candidates. We'll have 3 questions with 2 follow-ups each. First question from Kushal to Birendra.
Yeah. Hi, Birendra. So
Hi.
first, glad to see you mentioned about Freshie Life. I see in your feasibility report you had mentioned the link of IIT Gandhinagar foundation program. Brilliant. That's a wonderful program. And I'd like to know what you have. So you mentioned the same 5 points they have mentioned. And are you aware of their program? And
Yeah.
if yes, do you know how many students are there and how long the program is? And
Exactly.
how many students and how it is comparable to institute and how do you like to change it for the institute situation?
Exactly.
One question, can you?
Like there are so many questions.
One question.
Okay. So basically, how will you compare the program that you mentioned in your feasibility report, the IIT Gandhinagar Foundation program, with institute, the numbers and the duration?
Compare the 2 programs.
Okay. So exactly, there is very valid point, and before thinking about, I went to Dean. I proposed this idea that, sir, can we have this to those? And he said, our IT is bigger. When we were smaller IT, that was very feasible. Then I contacted director of that IT Gandhinagar. I mailed him, sir, I really impressed by your program and it's really helping because many of my friends are studying there. So do you think it's feasible in IIT Madras? And the answer was like, it's actually feasible. I'll tell you, just wait. Okay? And you all, 2 questions. So he said that it is feasible. I said, sir, but we are like large number. He said when they started, there were like 5 like faculty advisors and they started pretty done well. So suppose we have how many? 800 people, right? So suppose we have a 5. So it's not just IIT Gandhinagar is small, like smaller than IIT Madras area-wise also. So there are so many spaces we have. Already we have a common course, right? Where 800 students taught the same program. So what can we do? Suppose we have a 5 modules. So we can segregate 200 people and can have for everyone with different programs. So it can be done and arranged.
So do you mean you will continue the same life skills program? And further, you clearly mentioned that Dean of Students said that it's not feasible. So do you will go with the words of Director of IIT
Wait,
Gandhinagar
wait.
and not Institute's
listen.
professor,
Wait,
right?
wait. First follow-up, can you repeat?
So
Yeah.
From your same words, you said that Dean of Students said that it's not feasible for institute. Kindly note that IIT Gandhinagar has 180 students, 180 freshers, and they run a 5-week program. And IIT Madras has 850 freshers. And we can't afford to have a 5-week program. And also we have a very structured life skills program that runs through 2 semesters. And do you mean you will change the curriculum or change the format of life skills program, or I don't get where you'll include this?
How many questions are?
The question is, will you change the format of the life skills program to introduce your initiative?
No. What he said, that was the initial part of conversation. He said not feasible, but we said that IIT Kanpur also have this kind of, IIT Kanpur have like 7 days program regarding same kind of, but in a shorter period. IIT BHU have this. So what sir said that we also can sit and program. There's no big issue. So it is on the way. They were actually thinking about it. He was saying that maybe it seems infeasible, but we need to think and sit and work it out.
Okay, okay, brilliant. So we'll definitely work it out. So I'd like to know your groundwork on this. I noticed that IIT Gandhinagar, they have 6 faculty coordinators and 20-member student core team. What is your groundwork? How many faculty have you spoken and how many of them have agreed to coordinate particular program and these modules and all? Whatsoever you have mentioned. Have you done any groundwork?
Yeah, exactly. So regarding this, I talked to the Vijay Lakshma ma'am for like communication skill ma'am. She said, yeah, we actually teamwork. He said, yeah, that is definitely thing we are missing a lot. So yeah, see already on the board, Dean is also agree, and all some other faculties are also agree. And what you said, the core team, there are many of us willing to take and help this kind of bringing. It's first, whatever you do first time, it takes some time. It takes time. It doesn't happen eventually. You need to break. I understand.
Brilliant.
Okay. 2 follow-ups are over. First question from Birendra to Kushal.
Yeah. So, can I have it? Kushal, you mentioned about putting grievance committee and complaint portal in like medic institute, right? In the hostel, yeah. So how you think that can affect like even the do you think that comes under your purview or like what?
So the role of this, do you know, so according to the student constitution, all the executive members are allowed to have executive committee. So this executive committee members will take care of the complaints and they'll only report it to the hospital management. I've clearly mentioned the feasibility report. I've spoken to CMO and Dean of Administration. So also they have agreed. So what they mention is these committee members will act as point of contacts on behalf of SGS and there'll be a bridge between the students and administration. So they'll just help. So we as students are definitely hesitant to directly speak up to the doctors or CMO madam. So CMO ma'am herself told that there are complaints coming up from time to time, but we don't have someone addressing them. So a student committee, particularly under the SGS, so this committee members will take up the complaints to them.
No, I mean, even if they complain, you take the complaint. What can you make sure that complaint can be resolved? My point is that. What is the purpose of being complained if it's not resolved?
The point is here, the complaint is to be heard. You also
can
need
you
the complaint
that,
to be heard.
Can you say that the complaint is resolved or not? What I'm asking.
The question
yes,
is,
definitely.
Can you ensure that the complaint
yeah,
is
that's what I'm
resolved?
saying.
Yeah, given that, so once we complain, it's not under purview, agreed. The students definitely can't enforce any action to be taken on the CMO or hospital.
He just said yeah.
Wait. Let the candidate speak.
Yeah, so basically the student committee will not be someone who will order the CMO or order the hospital management, but there will be a point of connection between the students and hospital, which currently lacks.
Second follow-up.
Okay, regarding the same thing, I don't have done.
You don't have a second follow-up. Second question from Kushal to Birendra.
So, Birendra, in your credentials, you have mentioned that you are part of SLC as a legislator, okay, and also you are part of SGS Standing Committee. I'll like to note that there's no committee called SGS Standing Committee. It's Student Standing Committee on General Affairs. And further, my question to you is, what are the types of legislations, and how many have you introduced in the student? How many have you? One second, I'll just repeat. What are the types of legislation and how many of them have you introduced in the SLC to bring a change?
One question.
So what are the types of legislations and how many legislations have you introduced in the SLC to bring a change in INSTI?
Can we change the question to what are the legislations he has introduced? What are the legislations you have introduced?
Okay, so I have put many agenda points to bring the legislation there. But due to...
No, the question is, what are the legislations? What are the types of legislations in SLC? So according to the student's constitution. It's clear.
So that is your question. What are the types of legislations in SLC?
Bills and resolution. And one more is there. Wait. Bills, resolution. Yeah, I'm forgetting one, but there are 3 for sure.
Perfect. Here is our legislator forgetting types of legislations in the constitution.
Question.
And okay, further coming to the question, how many of you?
Only ask questions. Please only ask questions.
Okay. Now, how many legislations have you introduced? Kindly name them also.
None of them.
In SLC.
None of them.
One of them. Okay. And you're also...
Two follow-up done, right?
Yeah.
The first one was a question and then follow-up, second
Okay.
follow-up now.
Second follow-up. Yeah. Also, you were part of student standing committee on general affairs, right? So I'd like to know what work or what feedback you have collected, especially regarding SGS, the review or reports regarding SGS. What have you
Yeah.
collected from
Yeah.
GSB, which is one of the prime
Yes,
responsibilities
listen.
of the committee.
So, I really appreciate your knowledge in SLC and Constitution, but one has to be understand that it's not chairman has to circulate the mail, and here chairman of the committee has to circulate the mail, and he has the power and he has all the answer what kind of feedback. It recently got circulated, so I don't have an answer. I doubt why.
I mean, you weren't a responsible
Wait,
member.
wait, wait. So he says that the review is to be submitted by the chairman of the committee. Second question from Birendra to Kushal.
Yeah, you mentioned lack of space in INSTI, lack of common space, open space, right?
I didn't say open space.
What kind of? Like
Public-
meeting kind of, is public meeting place? Exactly? I'm correct? Yeah. So already like you want like already there is a space in Godavari, like in Godavari we have the, yeah. So why don't you use that?
Where
to
exactly
create
Godavari? I didn't understand.
the front of Godavari, we have
mean the Godavari lawn?
Yeah, Godavari lawn. So why you want to do that?
Okay, I clearly mentioned in my manifesto point, I mentioned 24/7 co-working spaces. Again mentioning 24/7 co-working spaces. Currently, we don't have anything except Quark.
Follow-up.
Just what you said?
I repeated it twice.
Yeah, no.
24/7 co-working spaces.
Work is not 24/7, you're saying.
He's saying that
I mentioned 24/7 co-working spaces in my manifesto. Godavari lawn is not a co-working space. It's not somewhere
yeah.
where you'll sit and study, right?
Exactly,
So
exactly.
that's what I'm again
Yeah,
reinstating.
yeah. So what you're saying is Quark is not 24/7, but for your kind knowledge, it is for 24/7.
I never said that statement. Don't bring it out of
he
thin
said
air.
there is no 24/7 co-working spaces apart from Quark. Okay. First follow-up now. Please keep it short.
None of the spaces are 24/7. I don't know where you guys are coming from, but none of the spaces are 24/7. Thank you.
Except the Center for Innovation.
Right. First follow-up.
Yeah. So how do you have any like how do you plan to have this 24/7?
I've clearly mentioned in my feasibility report. So for 24/7 co-working spaces, there'll be initially there'll be 2 reading rooms identified beside the space beside CCD, and further the library basement will also be pushed to be open as a 24/7 reading space. Yeah, these are the 2 to begin with, and further we'll sit and ideate and work on with the different committee members.
Exactly. Follow. So as you said, the library basement, but library basement. This is the second one, da.
Yeah, the first one was
This
on.
is the second one. First was question.
Wait. Huh? First one was that the Godav space is already there, which you answered. Then he asked about that. Yeah, okay. Second.
So I don't know whether you talked to academic affairs secretary or not. What is said is already they are trying for 24/7 reading hall in basement. I don't know why you're mentioning again your manifesto.
So I didn't specifically mention that alone, and I also spoke to the librarian and dean of planning. So the proposal has been made and put from the library committee to dean of planning. It is not taken forward. So it is not taken forward. That is what I got to know from the authorities. So I'd like to take an initiative to push it forward. Yeah.
Yeah, done. So third question from Kushal to Birendra.
With regard to our concerns on mental health, which both of us have identified, that definitely needs an addressing. I mean, all your initiatives. So first, specifically with respect to Shastra and the Sarang collaborations, I ran these marathons conducted by Samanvai and Shastra, specifically on sports on mental health and sports for mental health. So what is new here? And also they need to address Insti students. So how will Shastra and Sarang's PR events or social initiatives, which are basically for PR, address Insti students and Insti audience?
Okay. So when we talk about mental health, it's very important to understand every aspect of itself. So just think about it. Suppose you have a friend. You have a friend and you want to say something. And that friend is studying outside. And he's close to one, but you are in IIT Madras and you are having under a lot of pressure. How can you convey and how you understand that he's understanding your problem? Can you? Yeah. So my point is just not about making awareness about in IIT Madras can alone help. There is other part of story where everyone has to understand what is mental health is.
No, wait. The question was, how does Sarang and Shastra marathons contribute to improving the mental health of institute students?
Exactly. I said that Shastra and Sarang have this program of publicity. So when they publicize the mental healthness, the outside people of the institute, who may be your friend or your family, can understand this is the issue. So once they know, you can talk to them, right? The issue is that you don't talk to your friends because you are hesitant to talk about that.
So do you mean...
Wait.
Do you mean it will not cater institute students? You are institute general secretary, institute students general secretary. The prime, you have to cater to the well-being of institute students first. And then go out on social work and beyond institute.
First one.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah, I don't know why you're thinking so narrow in terms of mental healthness. It's very important. Yeah. So sometime what you need to see is not a smaller picture of problem. Sometimes you need to look out to solve the issues. My view is here to look how institute students are affected, right? It's not Shastra Sarang, it's just for outside. It also cater for student inside the institute. I don't know what is the issue.
Okay, perfect. So you're catering to inside of institute also. Perfect. Okay, we'll agree
This is
on
second
that.
follow-up.
This is the second follow-up.
Huh.
Yeah, and if yes, how will you actually make sure that it's implemented along with Shastra and Sarang? Also, one second, I'll just repeat, I'll just say. So further on mental health itself, you also mentioned alumni leadership sessions.
Okay, one question is mixing two questions.
What is the question? Follow up on this question.
Okay. First was related to mental health. Same, I'm following up on one of his mental
Follow up. Ask one question,
Yeah.
the one question.
So further, you had mentioned there'll be alumni interaction sessions.
The main question was Shastra and Sarang. I don't know why he's going.
It was mental health.
If he does not understand, I can't do it.
Okay, further, okay. How will you make sure that you actually collaborate with Shastra and Sarang? Why are the Cultural Affairs Secretary or Co-Curricular Affairs Secretary bound to your words?
Exactly. There comes the collaboration. So one need to understand the extent of the problem. So just think about why, if you go beyond the back in the time, why in the first place people start dancing, singing, culture event, why? It's all about bonding, how you bond together, right? So the one thing, the issue is here, people are not bond together, right? So culture event can help, this is the point.
No, the question is why should the cultural affairs and the co-curricular affairs secretaries work with
So the question is clear, that whether people should bond or dance or a cultural activity, why are the cultural secretaries bound to you?
I am trying to teach you the basic fundamental of culture event. That's the point.
Wait, both of you. Wait, both of you. The question was why do you think the cultural affairs and the co-curricular affairs secretaries should listen to your words on this? Please answer to the question.
Exactly not. I never said they will listen to me. The point was collaboration. It's problem for cultural affairs secretary, it's problem for co-curriculars also, it's problem for everyone. Everyone wants to solve. Even everyone sitting here want to solve.
Okay.
Right? Why do one listen?
Two follow-ups are over. Third question from Birendra to Kushal.
Okay, dude, I don't have question to you. I can't do anything. So you mentioned about open gyms. Open gyms. So just Kishore few in SLC passed a budget for gym equipment in different areas of like sport around where sports happen. So why do you think there is extra need to buy IT? In the SLC itself, when I asked the question, Kishore, is anyone can use it? He said anyone can use it. So why you need to buy extra?
So, first, institute has 9,543 students. And the current gym, if you put together all of gym has space for 100 people at maximum. I don't know if Kishore will agree if 100 out of 10,000 is enough for all students. Don't you get that?
Yeah, listen. What I said, that
wait.
Kishore...
Is it the first follow-up?
question was not properly answered.
I answered.
See the question. Wait. The question was, what is the need for open gym?
I
And
said,
he
I
said
clearly
what?
told.
Kishore has already buy extra equipment. Why they need to buy extra more?
Yeah, so the question was, why do you need to buy extra equipments, which is answered when he said the strength of the institute.
Yes, he said he already buy it. No, he bought it. Kishore already bought it.
Do you want?
What he is trying to say is that I already bought few equipments. So what is the need right now for it? It's already being done.
See, clearly, okay, calm down. So we have executive council members are hooliganing and shouting, booing. How are you allowing this?
Please do not.
No, I'm telling.
Wait.
Okay.
Do you feel that you have sufficiently answered the question?
Yeah, no, I'm just telling. I'm just repeating. I'm repeating my statement again.
Okay.
Out of institute strength is 9,543, and we have physical space, physical enclosure for maximum 100 capacity. How many ever equipment you put in the same physical space, it won't increase 100 to 1,000 also.
Yes, fine. That question is answered. First follow-up.
Okay, as he said that there are large number of students here. So I don't think this is the first time happened that we came to this large number of students here. Previously, their general secretary and other secretary also have known that there's large number of people and gym is not sufficient. And so why you think that nothing happened their point and now you can board this up?
Yeah, it's another thing where people didn't feel for the culture. The culture of fitness and physical well-being was not well realized. There have been initiatives. For example, SFC, multi-fluoride SFC is a year-long initiative. Do you know why it hasn't happened? Just that there's also INSEE has a big space crunch, so you can't build an extra infrastructure. So a building is not really viable or feasible for the forest environment. So open gyms is something that will be compatible with the existing ecosystem of the forest kind of situation, and same time consuming very little space.
Second follow-up.
Yeah, no follow-up.
No more follow-ups. Okay, done. So we have finished with the cross-questioning between the two candidates. Now we'll move to executive wing questioning. We'll be stopping in 20 minutes. We'll be stopping by 7:20, moving to the GSB and then coming back.
The core team is not here, so I'm going to take those questions also. So 20 plus 10, 30 minutes. Thank you. Firstly, I'd like to request the SECC or whoever is in charge here today to not throw us out, because we have some extensive questions for both the candidates. And it is our right to ask those questions, and it is their responsibility to answer this.
See, we'll be coming back to the Executive Council after 30 minutes, once we go to GSP.
Yeah. It is 6:56 right now. Just remind me in 7:26. So my first question is to both these candidates. I would like Birendra to start first, and then I would like Kushal to start first. Say the SECC has resorted to motivated and unwarranted efforts to discredit the efforts of the Executive Council.
It's not clear nor audible. Slowly.
Say the SECC. Oh, this is your strategy to waste time. I don't think it is working.
It's not clear. It's not clear. You're going at the speed of Vande Bharat Express.
Say the SECC has resorted to a motivated and unwarranted effort to discredit the efforts of the Executive Council, like it happened this year. How will you shield your Executive Council being the SGS?
How will I what? I didn't get. How will I? Okay.
Please
If there
keep
are-
quiet. If you do not keep quiet, we'll have to stop the soapbox. Please keep quiet.
If there are, the question is, if there are false accusations on the EC or the SECC discredits the work of the Executive Council, you being SES, what you will do in this regard?
Okay. So, as SGS, as Executive Council member, the SGS has a clear freedom to speak in the SLC, and SECC chairpersons or chief commissioner is bound to attend SLC. Is bound to answer
It
the
is
request.
nowhere mentioned that SECC is bound to attend the SLC.
Okay, so that's why I corrected myself.
It is nowhere mentioned. Constitutional clarification.
I corrected myself. So, I'll raise it in SLC. The Executive Council member definitely have a freedom to raise it, and SLC has the powers to take the resolution forward and then report it to Dean of Students. Dean of Students' words are final and binding. Even SECC can't change it.
Dean of Students' word is not binding on SECC. SECC, no faculty advisor can overrule a decision of SECC. Only BOS can.
Okay, so wait. One second.
No, we've heard enough from you. Let's go to Birendra.
1 second. Why do half of the people here have posters?
How is it? Where is it written that it is not allowed? Continue. Birendra, answer.
Yeah, exactly. So, unfortunately, sometimes ACCEC does some things that can harm the executive wings.
Don't beat around the bush. Answer to the point.
Yeah, complain to BOC. We can raise the issue to BOC.
Let's move on to specific questions and then we'll come back to a few common questions. I'd like to start with Birendra. Your feasibility report does not talk anything about the feasibility of anything in the manifesto. Don't you think the feasibility report is entitled to talk about the feasibility of things like budget, timeline?
Yeah, there is, but there was a time constraint for me. There was less time for me to prepare and also ask for the extension. That was not given to me, so yeah.
Are you saying you are incompetent to put the minimum effort required to your feasibility report?
No, what I am saying, there was a time constraint. That's why I was not able to do it. But I already have mentioned important things that is required.
Okay, so now that you think you've put enough effort, can you be more specific about the medical health checkup camps? What is the budget involved? Where is it going to come from? Which all organizations have you contacted? This is basic groundwork that you've done because it is missing from your feasibility report.
Exactly. Sorry for not being there. So I already talked about 1mg and 1mg and they already replied and sent a mail, all things. So I already planned when there's a scheme of 599 rupees, they listed 17 tests that can be done. And if you multiply the number with 8,000, it comes around 3 lakh or 4,70,000. So I already talked to I have a meeting with chairman and we want to restructure the whole kind of test which is important, which is not important, which further reduce to the minimum cost. And then we can also want a sponsorship money from them. So there will be 8,000 people coming to there. So there will be, we can raise money through the sponsorship. So this is the way we pay. What? I can't hear you.
How many people? How many people?
How
many people? What is the budget per person?
599 they mentioned right now.
600 rupees per person?
Yes.
How many people?
8,000.
What is this 8,000 number? What is this 8,000 number?
People. I talk students.
So what is 8,000? Tell me what 8,000 is. Number of hostelers or number of total students in the institute?
8,000 students.
Okay. Now this question is to Kushal. No. Are you saying that there are 8,000 students in the campus?
More than 8,000. I took a gross number and multiplied it.
8,000 cross 600. What is 8,000 cross 600? What is
4
the number?
lakh 8,000. 4 lakh 80,000.
48 lakhs.
Okay,
Where is this
okay.
money coming from?
No, like, so already I said the money was huge, so I asked them to reduce to minimum some amount, and we need to
What is this
restructure.
minimum amount?
Maybe like 250
10 rupees per
maybe
person.
250 kind of.
Then how much it is?
That would
20
be,
lakhs. Where is 20 lakhs coming from?
Yeah,
Then if it's 250, it's 20 lakhs. Where is 20 lakhs coming from?
yeah. We said we try to raise money from sponsorship.
Okay.
Sponsorship from where? What is the branding? What deliverables do you have for sponsorship? For a medical checkup camp that is solely benefiting you. What will any company sponsoring your medical checkup, your blood test, your BP will get out of it?
Exactly. So I want to correct you there. So you use mental health checkup. So I want health checkup, not mental health checkup. So one thing, I don't know, I heard, that's why I'm saying. So my point is, what is getting? So suppose you get a test, right? You get a test, and suppose something happened to you. So maybe you try to contact the same hospital, what they prescribe. So they may be earning the money, and regarding sponsorship, we can branding image, so they can put some banner here and there.
I hope Sarang Shastra spawns course and all of them are here to hear your answer. Now this question is to Kushal. We heard there is a delay in the payment to the vendor for Narmada hostel night. The hostel night happened on April 21st, 2018. The payment happened in late January 2019. Do you think there is an MOU where the payment has to happen within a certain date, or is there not?
Yeah, I agree. So first, there are three issues in this. First, there was a delay, and the delay is not within my boundaries. There were.
What were you doing as HHS?
I was constantly. There were first the stakeholders. One is the hostel manager, and two the hostel warden.
Hostel manager. Do you want to stand by that word?
Hostel manager is the one who bridges. The hostel manager is the person who actually pushes it forward to the warden. Two, and third, the CFO.
Who
and
takes the
CCW.
codes? Who takes the codes? Who gives the counts?
What?
Who takes the count? Who takes the count of number of students attending? Who
Yeah.
takes the quote?
Me.
Okay, then
So-
you are telling them a number, not the hostel manager, okay?
Yeah.
Continue.
I'm telling you. So the bill was finalized and put forward in the May. As soon as the vendor put forward it to me, and further, so to note that there were 3 hostel managers who changed, and whole of hostel office was, kind of the papers were missing this and that, and further, finally, also the warden's availability was in question. And also further, you may tell the MOU definitely. So the MOU says the vendor should give the bill in 2 weeks. He gave the bill in 4 weeks, and that itself
So
was.
then why did you not stop payments altogether? Why did you pay?
That is what the delay was happening.
If he violated the MOU, why did you pay?
That was
Do you
the
have a
talks was
special? Do
happening.
you have a special thing with the vendor where you pay him money even though he doesn't deserve it?
No, that was the question. That is why it got delayed. So the warden's availability, the vendor's availability, and the hostel manager
We've
coming
heard
to
enough.
it was not happening. If you want, you can
This
call
question
the
is to
warden.
Birendra. What is supplementary exams? When does it happen? When does the semester start? When does it end? Why should a supplementary exam? How will you organize a supplementary exam during the classes?
Yeah, so first we need to understand why this has been mentioned in the
I don't care. It is mentioned, right? Tell me how you will do it.
Exactly. So first thing is we'll try for first years for common courses, and we
What is
can
the
do
number
in
of
the
first year?
we can do in the weekends.
How many first year common courses are there?
Like we have 12,
First in one semester.
6.
Okay. So you have to hold 6 supplementary exams. So that means 6 weekends. Right? So that means 6 weekends, right? So you're telling me that a first year student will get the grade of his exam 6 weeks into the semester. Is that allowed? Is it okay?
Point is, like suppose how one student, how many subject he can get you. So we can always have a
Let
slot.
us take, are you telling me that there cannot be a student in the institute who will not get all U grades? Is it allowed or is it not allowed?
It is mathematically possible.
So what will you do in that case? Should that person drop out because he got 6 U's?
No.
When will he get the grades? Next. So regarding, this is to Kushal. Regarding the survey that you said will be on mental health, I have a bunch of questions. I would like you to answer them in order and don't beat around the bush. Who will be surveyed? What are the parameters that the survey is going to assess? What is the relevance of a survey in terms of mental health? Who will do the analysis? Most important question. A discussion has already happened in the SLC regarding this. Is SLC a joke to you?
Yeah, sure.
If it has already happened, if it has happened, how is it your manifesto point?
Sure, I'm answering one by one. First, who will do? There'll be a dedicated set of experts identified. I've contacted Mr. Prashant Vasu, who's a partner with McKinsey. He has his set of parameters. He has extensively studied on happiness, well-being, and its correlation to the performance of individuals. Two, I've also contacted the Reiki Institute. The Reiki Center for Science of Happiness at IIT Kharagpur. They have a similar survey. They have conducted a similar happiness index or happiness and well-being index for different states and cities. And they also replied an affirmative. So they will be the experts. The experts will come in. They'll identify the parameters and they will.
Can you comment on the success of any of these surveys? One. Two, why is it not in your feasibility report?
Which one? Because I didn't get the replies. I didn't get the replies in time.
How is it your manifesto point? Did you, without knowing feasible or not, how did you put in your manifesto?
No, I had oral confirmations. I call them up. I've been having continuous conversations.
Oral confirmation
with
is still a confirmation. It should have been in your feasibility report.
Okay, sorry.
No. Next, he's in finished answering all the questions.
Yeah. So the relevance also, as I told.
Is SLC a joke to you?
Oh.
A discussion has already happened in SLC.
So
it is an SLC resolution to organize, to have this survey done by professionals. How is it your manifesto point?
So one, I requested the speaker to share the follow-up or how the resolution was followed up. The speaker said it was put forward to BOS chairman. And
when have you contacted me? When you contacted me yesterday night.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So, that shows your credibility. That shows your credibility. Before putting into the manifesto point, you should have contacted all the stakeholders and you should have tried to understand.
I spoke to Dean of Students and Dean of Students said that, yeah, this is a good initiative, and he told me that.
Why don't you go to Dean of Students and ask him to make SGS directly?
No, if you are asking your opposition candidate about legislation which is put it forward in the SLC, it is not just the individual effort. SLC is a collective effort wherein all the legislators together come and take a resolution, right? Yes. So before you put anything in your manifesto point, it is advisable that you concern and talk to all these stakeholders.
Yeah, I'll take care of this next year. Thank you.
Oh wow, then you should be rejected then. Thank you.
All right, Birendra, my question. All right. What is the incentive for cab companies? Where is it? What is the incentive for cab companies to change their payment infrastructure to suit a demography of 0.1% of Chennai population to exclusively cut deals for you?
So I talked with ARC and Lata.
Who have you talked with?
ARC head and Lata ma'am. So they already trying to have strike a deal with Ola. So, but what Ola is saying today is giving one-time opportunity for IITM student. So they are already in a we need to push it lot, so we can do it.
How is it your manifesto point here?
So point was, it was about one time. There was one point, what I want to every time student use Ola cab, they should get 5% off.
If it is already being done, who gave you the right to steal someone else's idea and put it in your manifesto?
No, what I am saying is, their point was different. Their point was, the deal was to one-time offer for student. My point was every time IITM student use it, they get the offer.
Look at the amount of money being redirected from their account. What is the deliverable you are giving to the cab companies? What are you giving them? Why should they do it?
So we have like more than 8,000 people. And
deliverable, don't beat around the bush. What is the deliverable you are giving?
We are getting minimal branding, whatever we get.
Do you think Ola really cares for branding? We had a cycle sharing initiative. They didn't care for branding. They packed and left.
Yeah, there was a different issue with the cycle.
No. They didn't. If they really cared about branding with minimal investment, they would have stayed. So they didn't care about branding then. Why will they care about branding now when they're losing money here? And that in huge amount, not in the cycle sharing amount scale.
So that I'm saying, you putting the example of cycle sharing. So I doubt it is comparable with cab thing, first point. And second is, Sarang had this kind of deal earlier, that they were allowed. So we already have so many. So there are so many events going around, like IIT Research Park and like in IIT itself, maybe Department Fest, and like so all the years are full of events, people coming and going. Also in the end semester, people are going. So there's large amount of people going in and out. I think there will be much revenue making about.
Kushal? If there is a section in your manifesto that is SGS initiatives, what is the rest of the manifesto?
1 second. Yeah. These are by SGS initiative meant that SGS bodies, that the student governance bodies.
Heard enough. This is, yeah, 1 second. Your fees, to Kushal again. Your feasibility report doesn't talk about the feasibility of having an amphitheater. It just discusses the need and what can be done. What is the proposed budget? What are the changes you have in mind? Why is it not part of your feasibility report?
Yeah, I haven't included the exact feasibility for that because I was in consultation with Dean Planning and Horticulture Officer and I didn't get the final word from them.
Are you telling me that it is okay to put a point without proper feasibility check in your manifesto? Both of you actually.
I was in talks, but I didn't get into conclusion.
Is it enough? Is your feasibility check enough? Can we start
I was confident that it was enough, so that's why I put
then answer. What is the proposed budget? Who will provide it? What are the changes you're talking about? How will these changes affect the institute life?
Yeah, first
quantifiables.
First, the proposed changes, there'll be a small structure, there'll be a slight landscaping that will be done to the existing lawns. If you see now, now there's a small conical end in the middle, like a hill. So that will be slightly landscaped properly, the lawn. And two, there'll be a small infrastructure put up that will cost, I'm coming to the cost also. Patience. Yeah.
By killing time.
Yeah. So there'll be the landscaping first, and second, there'll be a small structure that will house, say, the screen or speakers, whatsoever. And for this, the budget, it costs 3.5 to 4 lakhs, which I had checked with 2 vendors, but I couldn't get a written quotation. That's why I didn't put them in the feasibility. And 3, I spoke to the senior horticulture officer. They're okay, and also dean students, because we already have an option to book the lawns currently. But there's a hoarding that says do not enter. And yeah.
Where will you get that money from?
It'll be allotted from the institutes, dean planning funds, engineering units.
So you're telling me that dean planning is ready to spend money out of his or her personal pocket to your whimsical needs of an amphitheater?
It is not my need. I'll put forward a need for the institute's cultural space and institute's social space. It's not my personal need anyway. It is the students' need.
Okay, so this question is to Birendra. So you mentioned in your manifesto that you'll include people from diverse academic backgrounds in your teams. What do you mean by diverse academic backgrounds?
So we have different academic courses. For MBA, there is a course, MSc is there.
Different programs, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you mentioned in your feasibility report that you will make the application process simpler. for PG students to get into the SGS teams, right? Okay. So the application for PG placement team last year was a Google form with 7 fields, out of which 4 were name, roll number, department and stream. Okay. Do you think there can be a simpler form than this? Despite this form, we did get only 40 applications for 32 positions. What do you think can be a simpler form which will fill your team?
And
in fact, these 40 applications were obtained through 3 different reminders, one in April, one in June, one in August. How will you fill your teams? Will you wait till August to fill your teams?
Okay. So, when I talk to the PG people, most of us say that they are having difficulty in application process.
Fine. This was a very simple application form. Despite that simple form, nobody applied. How will you make sure people apply this year?
Yes.
I understand the need.
So exactly, what can we do is ask them to let them come and work for 1 month. Let's see how much they are work. Let them, if they are interested.
Do you think you'll make people work without selecting them in your team?
No, like if they say that they fill the form that they want to be part of, yes and no objective, then we ask them to come work with the team. If we assign some work, if they work done, we can include in the team.
Will you make people work without including in their team, without including them in your team?
It's kind of free filtration for the first process, and second will be confirmation.
What about rule book then? In rule book, you have clear-cut guidelines how you will select team people. So are you going to overthrow the rule books? The rules which is mentioned in the SGS rule book?
If necessary, we have to do that.
Okay. This question is to Kushal. You have a... Okay. You have a point in your manifesto called Meet Your SGS Sessions. How is it different from a town hall meeting conducted by SLC?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why even the RS candidate has put it. It is advisable again to any candidates that if you put any manifesto points, you should know how it is happening, where are the lacunae, and under whose prerogative this comes under. Whose prerogative the town to conduct the town hall comes under.
One, this is, as an SGS, I'll always be available and approachable to all students. And 2, this is to provide an additional opportunity to meet the SGS informally. And there are certain cases where students might be hesitant to, utilize the bridge of SGS between the institute administration whenever necessary. So to facilitate this as an additional opportunity, I want to provide this as a bi-weekly session. Town halls happen once in a semester. Do you think once in a semester? I think town halls happen once or twice in a semester. These are bi-weekly. Bi-weekly informal sessions and not auditorium based or something. Informal, bi-weekly.
So you said you will be booking a venue and all that, right?
No. Informal, as the name goes, informal, as informal, it can get, say, FFT or CCD so or Himalaya lawns.
So you're telling me that you will not be available for the rest of the week? Are you telling me that this can't be done for the rest of the week?
Rest of the? I can't hear. Rest of the?
It's okay, da. You don't kill time anymore. We'll go to the next question. Yeah.
Okay, a fact question. Can you name 3 teams which an SGS is not a part of and the other secretaries are a part of? Not teams, committees. Common to both of you.
I'll go first.
3 committees the SGS is not a part of and another secretary is a part of.
One board of placements, 2 board of academic research. No, sorry.
Yeah, sorry again.
One board of placements and also the board of internships. No, not the internship committee.
When was it formed? When the board of internship was formed?
Committee.
There is one board of placement and internship. That's called as BOP. There is no separate board of internships.
Okay. The board of internship and placement and...
Two more. Do you have another one?
The sports committee.
Which committee?
No, the planning and execution committee meeting of sports, inter-IT sports.
Again. Okay. It is boiling down to this fact. Considering that we did not receive quality manifestos and feasibility reports, let us say we scrap the SGS position. Can the work be redistributed among the rest of the secretaries? Yes or no? Answer yes or no.
Yes.
I just didn't get the question.
Again, killing time. If, considering that we do not have quality applicants for SGS, if SGS position were to be scrapped, if it is removed, can the responsibilities be distributed appropriately among the rest of the secretaries like in IIT Bombay? I see that you are a fan of other IITs, right? You've done manifesto and feasibility reports from a lot of other IITs.
I'm not sure about that.
Yes or no? Just give us your opinion.
I need to think.
Okay, enough. Students in vigilance teams. Are you allowing people to moral police others? Are you giving them a free hand by including them in a vigilance team? First question. Second question. How is one student or a particular section of students more empowered to catch another student?
I told it will be the assistant warden of the hostel or hostel secretaries.
Assistant warden is not a student. Why is it a student vigilance team? Assistant warden is a project associate most of the time or a PDF scholar. Assistant wardens cannot be students except in exception cases.
Okay, hostel secretaries. Hostel secretaries are someone all the hostel inmates elect.
So, last year Mahad, the hostel secretary, has been caught with banned substances in his room and he has been thrown out.
There are 8 different hostel secretaries, right?
One institute secretary has been disqualified.
There are 8
how are you telling that secretaries who are elected by students are above the other secretaries? Will you consider yourself above the other secretaries if you get elected? Will you moral police others?
No.
Then why are you saying that students can be part of hostel vigilance visits?
One, it is to include,
I think your aim is to moral police, but continue.
One, it is to improve transparency. We all have heard of instances where the vigilance team have abused or harassed students.
Have you heard of vigilance committee?
Yes.
What do you think it does?
Who are the members of vigilance committee?
CCW.
Wrong.
The SGS, Hostel Affairs Secretary, Dean of Students.
Who is chairing the committee?
Colonel, the advisor to Dean of Students.
Who is the advisor to Dean of Students?
No, advisor to Dean of Student Office.
You will be the advisor to Dean of Students, Ra, for sure.
This question is to Birendra. You mentioned a point about tech campaigns in your manifesto. This was proposed in last year's SGS manifesto as well. What is the plan you have to implement tech campaigns? And what do you mean by, in your feasibility report, you mentioned that money has been allotted. What do you mean by money has been allotted? Have you considered consulting SLC about this? And what is the guarantee that next year's SLC will pass your budget for this?
Okay, so I was a part of committee. So in the committee, I got to know that 18 crore rupees have been allocated for this, and the committee has already been formed to.
It hasn't been allocated for tech ambience. Who told you that money has been allocated for tech ambience?
What?
Who told you that money has been allocated for tech ambience? What is tech ambience? No, what is your vision? Tell me that.
Yeah, so kind of for front of hostel or front of department, we have a statue of balancing new wing or like.
So money has been allocated to build statues?
No, money has.
What is the proposed budget for this?
What is the timeline?
For me or there was a timeline?
For you.
next year, and I guess.
Huh?
It's like after fourth, they're like 4 months after starting tenure.
Okay. This question is to Kushal. You mentioned that student representation in Ccash. So, if you are aware, already there are 2 student representatives in Ccash. And if you are talking about selected members, what is the accountability of these selected members to the general student body?
I didn't mention student representatives, but student representation. So currently, if you see SGS,
so are you telling that we are not doing anything in Ccash by saying that there is no student?
I didn't tell. I didn't make.
So what do you mean by increasing student?
I clearly mentioned the purpose of these student members. So if you read the statement as a whole, the role of these student members is to increase the publicity and awareness of Ccash. So if you check the events,
are they representatives or are they executives?
Who?
Are these members in Ccash representatives or executives?
Their representation members. So, and if you see further, so coming to the need of this, there has been no event for the last 18 months.
What is Women's Forum? What is Women's Forum?
Women's Forum is the campus.
How many events happened for
faculty.
Women's Forum last semester?
There were recently we had one on March 1st. Apart from that, there was only one. There were 2 events in the last 2 semesters.
What are they doing?
They are not bound to do this. They were not gender sensitization events.
Have you ever read the freshman guidebook?
Yeah.
Have you ever read the freshman guidebook? By telling us that publicity is not enough, what are you trying to achieve?
No, I'm not telling the publicity is not enough, but there's been publicity, but that is not adequate because...
How is that student representation?
The students will take an active role in, bridging.
Okay. I think we'll wrap it up here. We'll go to the GSB questions and come back. We have more questions, by the way.
We'll have questions from the GSB now. Persons wishing to ask questions.
Birendra, so you met me regarding Fund Day for Rival, I remember that. But there was no talk of any collaboration about working with CSI and rural entrepreneurship, all of this that you're talking about. So, yeah.
Yeah, I tried to call you, but you didn't pick up. Thus, I called Tamilaran. I'm telling you.
No, you met me. You met me regarding this. You mentioned nothing about
exactly,
this.
I'm saying after that, I tried to contact you, but you are not approachable. So I called Tamilaran, the same people you in the BT department. You said can be contacted, and I discussed with him.
Okay, what did he say? What did you discuss? What is this? Tell me what you're talking about. What did he say? That we can collaborate on rural entrepreneurship?
Yeah, I said that we want to have this promote rural entrepreneurship in rural areas with collaboration of CSI. He said that we can have discussed plan. So he was like more like active towards it. So yeah.
He was more active towards it. Please be clear. Tell me what he said. Is there a collaboration that you've discussed with anyone? Has anyone given you any confirmation regarding this?
I talked with Tamilaran and I talked with CSI
what is his
people.
name? What are you saying? What is his name?
He said it can be done. We need to discuss plan.
No, tell me his name. No, there is nobody by the name of Tamilaran.
Who? Tamilaran.
Okay, listen. Okay, fine.
One second. The STS has a clarification. We'll come back.
Last I checked, they don't need permission from IITM team to propose a new plan.
Yeah, but he's put that up in his presentation today, and he said that a collaboration with IITM and CSI regarding rural entrepreneurship.
It will be happening in the next year, right?
You were just talking about feasibility. Don't you need a decent confirmation before you put up something like that?
It is a vision. There is a difference.
That he put it up there and he said that will be done. Okay, so if you're working on rural entrepreneurship and you're mentioning the team. By the way, the spelling was wrong. So if you're mentioning all of that, if you've not talked to us properly, because you had a funding session with anyway. Okay, this is getting this thing. Can I ask Kushal? So you were on the Ccash drafting committee, the committee that was drafting the charter. So what are you going to say? So with the student representation, does it have anything to do with enforcing the charter? Because when student representation was envisioned for this, it was to ensure that the charter would be enforced. Now you're talking about publicity. So what role do you exactly enforce? NC, sorry.
First, I've been in constant conversation with the chairperson of the aforesaid mentioned committee, draft committee. So till date, the draft charter hasn't been, passed or been accepted by registrar or dean admin. They've been going on rounds. As a student representative currently, who will be part of the SGA, who will be part of CCASH, first will be to, I'll first try to get that into place.
Okay, Kushal, but my question is about the representation. Okay, so why has the charter not been passed? Okay, as yet. And the second is, what is the role of the representative there? Will they be making sure that the charter gets enforced?
No, I mean.
No, the representative is part of the charter. So it has a different, he's saying something different from what is there in the charter. See, the charter says this, but the professors are trying to change the charter. So that's why.
Yeah, the charter didn't get passed because I tried contacting Professor Sujata ma'am. I couldn't reach her for last 3-4 weeks. And while I could talk to Professor Preeti, Women's Forum, and who's also ex-officio member, they said they preliminarily accepted, and they also got a legal counsel's approval for the same charter. But there has been confusion between who has to sign the final approval, either registrar or dean administration or the chairperson of CCASH. So that has to be solved. I think
that's not SGS's job. You can.
As a student representative currently who will be part of the committee, I'll try to sort this out and get the charter passed and put in place.
Okay, although technically getting the charter passed is not the SGS's job, but if you do get the representative,
No, it's not the job of SGS, but SGS is ex-officio member in cases of students' involvement in the CCASH. So I will have an access to the members of CCASH. So I can ensure I have a say in making sure that this charter gets accepted.
Cool, okay.
My question is to Kushal. In one of your manifesto point, you have said that you're going to get a budget source from batch of alumni's 93's budget or the money that they have donated.
Yeah.
Do you know that that money is already been allocated to a project?
Allocated to?
A project.
So this statement, I didn't bring it from thin air. I spoke to Professor Dean INDR.
Yes, and
he quoted that they wanted to spend. So this was from the words of Dean INDR. I don't know if I can only follow his words.
I have a news article that says that that money is already been allocated and it's been already worked upon. How can you put it on something else?
No,
I have a news article. If you want, I can put it on
the basis for putting that on my manifesto feasibility report was the words of Dean INDR. You can go and check with him, but I can't. If there's a doubt with that, I apologize on behalf of him.
Dean INDR have been changed after the batch have donated the money.
But he told this statements. I used his statement. So beyond that, it's not beyond my doubt. I can't check with it. So I trusted in the words of Dean INDR and put it forward.
Do you have any proof that shows that Dean INDR have told you this?
No, I'm not allowed to record conversations. I can go again talk to him and get it forward. So he supported. Apart from that, okay, the fact of putting badge 93 is just a thing. But once
see,
the
procedure to follow to raise money is first we have to give the proposal to the batch and batch will discuss.
So definitely. I clearly, if you see the further section in that, how it will be done, the first step is to constitute one and also to draft a proposal and then funding. So
dude, that money is already been proposed. How can you draft a proposal now? You have to ask a
that is not the only source of money. That is not the only source of money. That is just a fact check. That is just a possibility. Alumni
that
source
is not that's what I'm saying. It's not possible.
I also spoke to Mr. Rahul Mehta, I found, who constructed two big buildings, and he wants to invest in India in psychology. Okay. That is another alternative source.
First of all, you can't go and talk to alumni without help of international alumni office.
That is a single source. Please, I didn't mention that as a single source. So that is taken.
See, your question is over. Please, next person.
It's not over. That's what I'm saying.
See,
He need to be clarified on some things. If he's raising money from alumni, me being ex-IR student council head, I'm trying to clarify him how he should raise money from alumni. It's not a donation.
It says including alumni. It says including alumni and not solely alumni. I don't understand why you don't get that. Please have the basic understanding, and also kindly note that I've clearly mentioned the center's proposal to be submitted to various funders and foundations, including alumni, and it just says in brackets.
Can you look at your point where you have said potential budget sources, alumni batch 93? Can you focus on that?
Yes.
See,
that's what I want.
Time and again repeated the same.
Huh?
See,
you
there are
need
other
to
people
move
who
on,
want to
but
ask questions.
candidate has to be clarified. That's what I'm saying.
See, please.
Candidate can't go ahead and put on any. Candidate can't go ahead and put on anything that he likes. He needs to verify these things, right?
So this I clearly mentioned. Again, I'm telling, please don't get misled by your preconceptions and pre-notions.
It's not a
by my notion, my statement, why I have put it here is the words of Professor Mahesh Panchangla sir, who is the current INDR Dean. And he told me this, and this is also not the sole basis for funding.
First of all, you should have contacted Development Office, right? Development Office is the one who handles the alumni's money and disperse it.
So first, why don't you understand
there is a person called Sujata ma'am who handles the alumni's money and raise the fund for the projects. You have to first raise a proposal to her.
This forward. You're not understanding the basics. Whatever I mentioned.
Give me the mic now. Please give
first
me the
of all,
mic
you
back.
don't understand how to raise a budget from alumni. That's why I'm standing here talking.
Submitted a proposal.
Have you been a part of IR team?
See, give me the mic back now. Give me the mic back.
I'm going by the words of Dean INDR. What more do you need? That was the sole basis. I don't know how you're not able to hear or understand. Kindly get again. No, he didn't commit. I just put as a potential source. I didn't say that, oh, I have submitted my proposal to 93 batch. Oh, they have accepted my proposal and I am not reconstituting. I'm not telling I've done that. I'm just telling a potential. The word potential means possible.
See, sit down. Next question. Okay, so he says that it's not possible. Now please sit down.
Hi, I'm one of the editors of T5, so we have two questions for both the candidates. Firstly, a T5 survey conducted on mental health, which had 883 respondents, showed that 54% of the respondents experienced some form of mental illness, but only 6% 6% seek the help of Mithur. Why do you think the current system is not efficient, and how do you propose to increase the trust?
I didn't get, what was the 6%?
Only 6% of the respondents, out of which 54% had some form of mental illness, but only 6% approached Mithur or Medal for help. So how do you think this can be changed?
Yeah, so one, the immediate step to, the immediate step will be to reconstitute the existing bodies, MIT, SATI, to increase the awareness initiatives and measures by increasing workshops and taking these awareness measures to the ground level. And further, in the long run, I have proposed the Institute Wellness Center. So that proposal, the institute, if it comes up, will take care of different aspects of well-being in a holistic manner, so that there is a proper basis and understanding of whatever initiatives are being pushed forward by the student teams.
So as I mentioned that there will be point-to-point breakdown of how to reach it. The first thing you said, 50% people experience it, only 6% go for counseling, right? So why? We need to ask the question, why 6%? What about like 44% left? Maybe because of stigma. We need to understand and we need to break it down. So as I said, we need to market it very well, any platform we have. So first thing I said, we include Sasa and Sarang to talk about that. So it will create a massive awareness about the people. Again, maybe you don't need to go for, like your friend can be your helpful, right? Because why don't you want to share something with friend because of stigma? So once stigma is broken down, you can talk to your friend can understand your problem, and that will clear this thing.
Hello. Yeah. This is more of a clarification from both of you. I'm not going to go into any of your manifesto points and such. I think those things have been covered at length. And almost all of the things we do, and the reason all of us are here, is because we care. We care about the betterment of the student community and IIT Madras as a whole, and we want to ensure that the student representatives who take up after us do a good job at doing that, right? So, you guys have both given a lot of new points and useful things that you want to do as if you take up the position of SGS, but you have not very clearly put down how you will do it. How do you ensure that the work that was done by, say, Sriram or Sai Kiran and all are taken forward in the right way? The work that's already being done with, like, say, Sati or EML, all of those things are going on, right? Who is going to implement all of your new vision and your new points? And how are you going to ensure that those things carry on and they just don't stay as manifesto points that you discuss here? So, from both of you, for the information of the entire general student body. Thank you.
Thank you, Raghav. As you said that there are few points, and like you are worried about the feasibility, whether it can happen or not, and even if happen, what about the future of it? So as I said,
Birendra, 1 minute. So explicitly, who this team structure or like the implementation or execution structure is what I want to know from both of you. Thank you.
Yeah, I was just mentioning that only. Okay. So as I said, like there are a few points, and yeah. So starting something new is always take lots of energy in the first place. So as I said, there has to be develop a culture. It's not going to happen randomly. We need to develop a culture where people care for each other. So just I said about wing buddy system. So when there are awareness about mental health, where there is no stigma and people think about other well-being, and it's already happening. People are thinking about you, about other people. You are talking about that, I am talking about that. The change is already happening, right? So once this wing buddy system is morely guided by Sati and professionals, how to interact, how to, if someone is in pain, someone is in need in your wing, how you contact, how you communicate. So once you start training by going to wing by wing wise, there eventually happens. The change will happen and it will carry on. Second, I talk about the number of increasing counselor. So it will happen. There is no thing to talk about. Yeah. So as I said, Sati, mentioned that Sati organized many of events to make awareness. But as I said that, suppose you are a person interested in technical thing, right? You don't see something that is related to mental health. But if I started associating mental health with technical things, you start noticing, right? This is one thing to make association with the things. So this is one thing we have to do. Yes, done with my side.
Answering your question, first, strengthening and reinstating the existing student teams and student bodies, say especially under the SGS, there are different bodies. To ensure the smooth functioning of all this, I'll work hand in hand with the SGS standing committee on general affairs that will be constituted by the SLC, and also simultaneously the provision for executive committee, of which I'll have appointed core and a dedicated team that will take care of the existing bodies. And two, the sustenance of these bodies is what will be carried forward. So building a sense of culture among all these student bodies and taking this forward is one way. And fourth, long-term initiatives and whatever ambitious plans that I have proposed will be handed over to professors or faculty members who will stay longer in the institute. Once it's a faculty initiative, that will stay in the institute for a long time, and that will be taken care by a sense of ownership and responsibility by the faculties. Yeah, this is my fourfold approach to your answer.
How many more members of the GSP want to ask questions? Show of hands. Okay. Please stick to one question. One question, no follow-ups.
My question is to Kushal. As your manifesto point said, will be having informal events like meet your SGS, right? And it is also more likely to be like the town hall meetings. I guess you know that there are the attendance would be around like 30 to 40.
I've already answered this question.
No. Just listen to the question. So the town hall meeting itself, people attend where it is official. The attendance is 30 to 40. So you are saying you will be conducting informal events every weekly. So how will you make sure that people attend to your event? And since it's informal, where you are planning to conduct it? First of all, how many people are you expecting to be turned up for the informal event?
I'm stating I've already answered this question and telling this is an additional opportunity to the students. There's no point in questioning the necessity of this. This is an additional opportunity provided to the general student body, and there is no necessity to look into the numbers who will attend this. Even if one student comes and gives up a suggestion of, a golden initiative that will take Insti forward, that itself is a bonus. I'm not looking at numbers, I'm looking at providing an additional opportunity for students to interact with their secretary.
So this is not my question, this is a follow-up for his question. So for the last 4 SGSs I know, may it be Sriram, Sai Kiran, Purab or Dhiresh, okay, all of them have met us whenever there was a call. Whenever we called them, asking them for an issue, to sort out this issue, they have met us. Okay, are you not going to do that if some guy is calling you and telling me?
I'm repeating, I've repeated it twice. I told, first, I'll be available and approachable always for all students of the institute. And second, this is an additional opportunity for all students to interact in person with the SGS.
This will be a very redundant point and a PR stunt. Okay, my question. Can I ask my question? Okay.
Now we'll move back to the executive wing.
Do you mind if I'm asking my question? So my question is, what do you think is the role of student general secretary or other elected representatives in the disciplinary committee? And in addition to this, nowadays, for last 6 months, what we are saying is, in case a vigilance officer is coming to hostel to check, the guy who is in the ground floor is putting a message in the WhatsApp group that vigilance mama is here. Okay, please lock your doors and move away. How are you going to tackle this, especially because you have put it in your manifesto? Okay. And the first question is also for you.
Okay. One, as a student representative, taking the voice of the students to the administration or the members of disciplinary committee to put forth, sometimes there'll be happening that the complaint is too harsh, or there'll be background reasons why the student was put in such a situation, and to collect these information from the student and be the voice of the students. And second, answering your second question, so these kind of incidents happen when there are vigilance checks thrice in a week. So if you check, then if more the number of frequency of vigilance checks, vigilance as the term says, it should be a random once in a while check. But when the vigilance comes thrice a week, these kind of things happen. So that is why it's being diluted, and I feel the problem lies elsewhere and not, if it's a random check, say once in a month, definitely people won't have their eyes glued onto the entrance for the vigilance mama. So,
yeah, answering to your first point, as you said, so it has to be dealt case by case basis. So first thing, as a student representative, what my duties are to understand the reason behind the people, why they are doing this kind of thing, and understand the background of this. This will help me to identify, maybe they are doing something, or they're trying to make their victim. But as a student representative, I need to understand both of the terms, what are the rules, and what actually they were doing. Were they doing actually wrong or right? Once, it's not just, it may be sometimes people are saying wrong. You can't just become the voice of wrong thing. You need to understand. Once you understand the rightful, then only you support the rightful voice, not any voice of the student.
So Kushal, I want to slightly correct you. Birendra is very close to correct track than you. The student representatives are there in the committee to assist the committee in taking better decisions. Yeah. not to raise the voice. I mean, you are, of course, when the candidate is, you are there to make sure that the student is not awarded more punishment than he deserves, or to help them in case of any confusions, or in case sometimes the student is not able to express himself. These are the places where you should be there, not to voice his opinion where it's, I mean, what is it?
The
Unreasonable opinions.
bettered by raising the voice is what I meant.
Not unreasonable opinions. You should be
subtly put forward is what I'm trying to say.
So hi Birendra, this question is to you. So have you checked the mail which was circulated in our department thread? Biotech department.
Which mail?
So basically the mail says that reported allegations on abuse of power to threaten the electorate members and doing verbal misbehavior with the electorates who had pointed out that violations and incompetence of you. So what do you have to say about this?
Like when it happens? Just
Today,
random
4
comment.
o'clock.
Yeah?
Today at 4 we received a mail regarding this. What do you have to say about this?
Which case? Like I haven't know like what is this random comment? I don't even know which accident are talking about.
So, see, there are instances where you had used the name of department and Biotech Students Association for your personal and political reasons had put forward by the department students and all professors.
Where I'm saying which person is saying what case, what is the point, when it happened. It's just saying, I can say something like that to you also.
Sure, my personal opinion. I think we are putting a trail here rather than going through a proper medium.
I just wanted to know what do you have to say about this, that's it.
Yes, I'm saying this is a very random comment without base. There's no mention which accident, what happened, when happened. How can I say? I can say something right now, but has to be some past, has to be some people, has to be some people there.
Okay.
Okay, I have a common question to both of you. Every second day, some negative news is spread by, I believe, politically motivated student groups within IIT Madras. You being SGS, what are your plans for effective communication with the outside media, and how will you handle those situations?
One, it's not the role of Student General Secretary to communicate with the outside media. And if SGS is communicating to the outside media, the SGS is not doing his or her responsibility, is misusing his or her responsibility, because we have a dedicated communication cell, and if also that is not being taken care, we have a dedicated AR, CNP for communications and publicity, and if not, for institute branding, we have our alumni and relation INDR secretary who is supposed to take care of branding. So communications, it's not the point of SGS, and if so happens, it's not, it should not happen.
Okay, Birendra, your take.
Yeah, so definitely we have a media cell who, whatever the news we want to send in the media, send by that. And we need to understand, you said the political motivated student goes and spread the news. So what is missing? Why people going outside and saying something? We need to go in the route, like you can't just say it happened. Maybe some communication gap is there. Maybe we need to have some common platform where they can discuss the point. Once we incorporate the sense of branding, how it affects the IITM, because they are a student of IIT Madras. So it's also effective. If something affects the branding of IIT Madras, it's also affect the IIT Madras student. So if we have some better communication gap, we can, I don't think there will be any issue.
Okay, one more common question regarding safety and security in the institute. You will be aware of an unfortunate incident which happened in the recent past. You being SGS, how you will improve the scenario in the institute, both of you? The stabbing which happened inside the campus. If you are asking me to give the incidents.
Okay, so I will first, to take care of the general security cover. So I believe there's a robust system. I mean, there's a robust system already that exists, and further they have increased. And if there is a requirement for further increase in security coverage, or providing additional safety, or I'll basically conduct a survey or audit of safety, check whether all street lights are on and functioning, or there are sufficient CCTVs in all the hostel area or academic zone, and basically increase the safety as per the need be it.
Okay, Birendra. Yeah, so again, I would like to go into details like why people starting something that hasn't happened in the history of IIT Madras has happened in few months ago. So,
your plans, how will you improve the safety standards inside the campus?
So,
what is your take on this?
Yeah, first thing to making people aware about the way they conduct, and sometimes what happens is that many of us break the rules when the particular event people was knowing that it was a misconduct of killing is not allowed, but stabbing is not allowed. But sometimes when we break the rules, when we does not know the rules, sometimes it's happened. So first we need to make sure student about the rules and regulation, and second, it's kind of ownership everyone has to take up. Right? Every student of IIT Madras has to take up the ownership of the branding of IIT Madras. So once that news was got out, it was really bad marketing for IIT Madras.
Please, just don't be specific to that particular incident. Please elaborate in overall what will be your measures being SGS for the overall safety.
First, we need to identify the places where there is chances of misconduct, or people are kind of space there can be done and people does not know. When you done a crime where you have a chance to escape, right? So we need to find that kind of escaping place and put kind of security cameras or security person if possible.
Okay, thank you.
This is a common question to both of you. Considering that we have been facing severe budget deficits, like all of the current secretaries, we've been facing severe budget deficits this year. What is your plan to make sure that student activities at the institute are happening without any hassles?
First, first is streamlining the existing budgets. For example, there have been So you have anything to add? No. So first, to streamline the existing budget, and also to put forward to all cores of different bodies under all secretaries to ensure that they put in the budget as per their need, and don't overstate the budget. For example, there have been instances where only 50% of the budget was utilized or things like that. So streamlining is the first, and second, try different avenues for sponsorships. For example, extramural lectures which attract a crowd of about 1,000 to 1,500 can be tried out for sponsorships, or there are diverse C5 projects which get in a large impact.
It's not, the budgeting is not the problem over here. So I have budgeted around 65 lakhs, but I have used only around 25 lakhs. So where is the remaining amount for me? So Dean hasn't agreed for 23K to conduct a traditional sport event this year. So where is the rest of the money for me to spend?
Yeah, so we have to sit and identify what all clubs and activities, or whatever clubs and different secretaries have been utilizing the budget. And
everybody submitting the budget.
Yeah.
Right?
So, to get the expenditure statement for the previous year and sit and analyze that and put it forward to the next year's, my current tenures, so that there is effective utilization.
Who will do it?
As an SGS, I can take the initiative forward to suggest the Dean Student's Office who take care of the finance of this.
Okay, fair enough, Birendra.
Yeah. So I say, when it happens, we kind of need to make kind of timeline, right? Kind of calendar,
How is budget related to timeline? We don't have money.
What?
No, I said there is a budget deficit. There is nothing about timeline. Okay, continue.
So particular timeline, people submitted their budget.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so particular timeline, people submitted the budget, and then can we cross-check can happen, and we can take care of that.
Do you have any specific initiatives like Kushal mentioned?
No, I don't have.
Okay, so this question is to Birendra. So you mentioned something called wing buddy system for socializing within hostels, right? Okay, so is this only for undergraduate students or for PG students also? everyone. So, as you might be aware, even many of the hostel secretary posts, which are only 6 posts or 6 responsibilities, is vacant in many of the PG hostels like usually. How do you plan to get people, how do you plan to get interested people involved in this initiative, given that institute student bodies like Sati Mitra are also facing a severe crunch of interested people to join them and work as mentors?
Exactly. So when I thought about that, so we need to actually think about why people applying for secretaries and like secretary wire in a position. So there are associated formal duties. There are duties that has to be conducted.
Fine, okay, secretary is fine. What is your initiative to make people take up this position? Okay, leave secretaries. Even Sati Mitra student bodies where people serve as mentors, there are not enough mentors. How do you make sure that you will get a mentor for every wing?
Mentor for?
You have said wing buddy, right?
Yeah.
Basically you mean one buddy per wing, right?
Yeah.
So how will you get one person every wing?
How many people do you think will be required?
Like around 300. Around 300.
For a tower hostel, 300 is the number of residents. So how many people, how many wing buddies will you have in a tower hostel?
We can like for one floor we can have like 1, 2, 3, 4. Dividing the 16 room, one wing, 4, 6.
Okay, so you're saying you'll have around 28 wing buddies, right? 28 positions of responsibility you're creating. What is the job description?
Yeah.
What they will do?
What will they do? Is it a position of responsibility or not? Will they get certificates?
Yeah, they will get.
Okay, what would they have done in a year to earn that certificate? What do you have in mind?
Like different types of event will be sent by Sati for conduction in the wing, and if they conduct successfully, we'll have the certification.
Where is all this extra money coming from? You are basically blowing up the money by creating 28 people and wings and events in every wing. Where is all this extra money for events coming from?
What money you are talking about?
To conduct these events, you need money, right? Where is this money coming from?
What, like, it has to, like, suppose, okay, I think you have misunderstood when I say events. What I meant about event is kind of people gonna dine out, going for beach, going for trip along that side. That kind of event, for informal events, not just specific where we spend money.
We shall be closing the soapbox in another 10 minutes.
Listen, Birendra, so what is Jagriti and what is your plan for Jagriti?
Jagriti. Jagriti was like social initiative wing, but now it's being scrapped out, so I'm not continuing this.
Is it being scrapped?
By whom?
EU in itself in the SGS meeting like told you that it's going to be scrapped out. Maybe you're proposing an SLC.
Has it been proposed in the SLC?
Not aware of that.
So are you saying that you will be scrapping Jagriti? Are you saying that you will be scrapping Jagriti? It has not been proposed in the SLC as of now. And you are saying Jagriti is going to be scrapped.
He's scrapping out. He's not, I'm saying I'm not aware either he has proposed to scrapping out SLC, like Jagriti in SLC.
Okay. How effective do you think your initiatives for Institute Hospital are? Both of you, common question to both of you. How effective do you think your initiatives for Institute Hospital are? How will you ensure the initiatives taken up by, initiatives that you are proposing are taken up by admin?
There will be a hospital committee meeting that will be occurring,
What is the frequency?
Roughly once in 4 months. Yeah.
How many times has it happened in the last 1 year?
I'm not sure.
How do you know that it is once in 4 months?
CMO ma'am told, she's like, it happens roughly about 3 to 4 months.
Can I call your bluff?
Huh?
Can I call your bluff?
Why?
You're bluffing.
No.
Can I call your bluff?
No.
Alright, continue. How will you ensure all these initiatives are happening?
Yeah. So, because...
it won't just be a oral confirmation from admin.
Yeah. It won't. So one, to be a regular part and also to push the different stakeholders of the committee.
How are you going to push the different stakeholders?
Meet them person, talk them, put forward the need for these. And
okay, continue.
Yeah?
Continue.
Yeah, put forward the need. And also there's ISO feedback taken by the CMO ma'am themselves. And to put forward that and also take the regular feedback that I get towards the portal that I'm proposing. To take that forward to the committee members and identify the need.
Why do you think this hasn't happened this year?
What?
Why do you think that this hasn't happened this year?
I mean, there were probably certain operational issues.
Why do you think those certain operational issues will not be there in your tenure? Birendra. Hi. This is still a soapbox.
Yes, I am here only. So, so as I said, my initiative regarding hospitals are bringing a token system and ambulance. So already once I talked to the CMO ma'am and deans, so they are really looking forward into it. And CMO ma'am already saying that we need to improve infrastructures. And there was one meeting, like a month in January, December, February, where they are actually working so we can push for the new ambulance and the token system there.
Is CMO the only stakeholder?
What?
Is CMO the only stakeholder?
No, everyone.
Who? Who all?
Students.
In terms of budget?
Dean, student.
Dean, students, okay.
Yeah.
Then?
And institute funding from student, institute.
Okay. Can you name all the hospital committee members?
CMO, Dean of Student, and SGs.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, that's what I know.
No, can you name who are the hospital committee members? Huh?
Dean of Administration.
Okay.
Professor Koshi Varghese.
Okay.
And CMO.
And?
CMO is whom I have met.
We are asking you who are the members.
Okay. So, I didn't get that.
Answer.
SGS.
Then?
Dean of Students. And further, there'll be another hospital representative. I think someone subordinate to the CMO.
Are you missing out anybody from the admin?
Dean of Administration.
And?
Registrar.
And
Dean of Planning.
Another student. You're saying that there is another student representative, is it?
No, I told SGS or HAS.
Yeah, we'll be closing by 8:15.
There is INDR secretary also.
We'll take 2 questions from the GSP. One question, no follow-ups.
Hello. My question is to ACC. The model code of conduct shared by ACC, point number 11, third line, video manifesto must be sent to acc@sml.iitm.ac.in latest by 1st March 2019 and shall be up to 5 minutes long and up to 500 MB in size. Today morning I saw in the Facebook page of ACC, the video manifesto of Kushal Reddy is 5 minutes 28 seconds. So can we assume that ACC is biased towards some candidate?
Please raise these. See, please complain through the official SEC ID about this.
Is there a question? Swati, should I answer? I'm bound to listen to SEC, not you.
No.
You are contesting for Students General Secretary. What do you mean you are bound to listen to SEC? You are also answerable to the GSB.
To answer the question. Answer the question. In the soapbox. In the soapbox is what the context I meant.
See, SEC is moderating the soapbox. That question was addressed to SEC. So we'll answer it and not...
Okay, let me rephrase this question. Kushal, what have you paid SEC to let you be in this election, contest this election, although...
We are officially... We are closing the soapbox.
I didn't get the question.
We are closing the soapbox. We are closing the soapbox. We have two candidates, Kushal Kumar Reddy and Birendra Kumar for the post of Institute Students General Secretary. Election is on 14th March. Thank you.